Electric Talk Radio. You're in to all things music.
Welcome to the Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Babies were made to that track by Earth, Wind & Fire, and our guest here, Larry Dunn, the founding keyboardist and music director of Earth, Wind & Fire, is here to tell us a bit about his career and share with us insights on an illustrious career in the music business. Larry, welcome to the Changing Stage radio show here on Enter Talk Media.
You guys there? Everybody there?
We are here, sir. Hey, man.
Hey.
How goes it, brother?
I'm doing good, man. You guys sounding good over there. What's that beautiful music you're playing?
Oh, man. You know, it's this artist, man. You got to check him out. His name's Larry Dunn. He's got his beautiful wife, Louisa, on the background vocals there. He's jamming on this amazing synth-sounding keyboard, whatever. What was that? Let's just jump right into that. What's the lead keyboard that you used on that track? Because it sounded amazing.
Well, you know, there's a lot of keyboards, but because I can't repeat it. You got a great voice. I'm like, right, I don't really sing, but I know how to yell at singers and try to sing and tell them what I want them to sing. So that is the Minimoon synthesizer that I started playing when I got in a band when I was 17.
Oh, man.
Actually, I just turned 18. But Charles Stepney, who was a great writer and the other producer with Maurice, was one of my mentors. And he was the first one to expose me to the Minimoon. And he was one of the first people to use it as musically, because it was used before, like in movies like sci-fi and all that different stuff. But he used it on a Ramsey Lewis album called Mother Nature's Son. And so I got turned on to it, and then I got one in 73. And that's how I sing. And so thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man, brother. That Minimoon right now is probably worth more than my car because it's a classic. They're hard to find now than other than the remakes that they're doing, but it's not the same. So
well, yeah, and they came up later on with the Moog Voyager, which Robert Moog gave me one of those, and it's digital. It's not
the same.
Analog, but it's pretty close. And the thing that you can do is you can store like 100 patches. And it stays in tune because it's digital. I can hear a little bit of difference because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can store 100 patches and it stays in tune, because with the original Moog, I always joke. I said, look, if the gig was on Saturday night, you better plug it in on Friday. it takes a while to warm up. But it's a wonderful instrument. I had two of those live, and then I had two Moog sources, and then a memory Moog. So I had a boatload of Moogs on that stage, along with all my other gear. I had about 9 or 10 different keyboards and different stuff. And I remember Monty White, who was Maurice's half-brother, who was our road manager at the time, he called me, he says, you got the biggest keyboard rig in the industry. And I'm like, and? None of it's up there for show, because there was no hard drives and computers and all that. You had to play it live. Is it live or Memorex? You had to play it live.
Exactly.
So.
And the memory Moogs the Mini Moogs did not have patches, so you had to dial in your sound as you were going. You had to turn the knobs and make sure.
You go, boy. That's right. A lot of people don't realize that. And I said, and our show it was so quick and song after song, and Maurice didn't have time to light up a cigar. We're going to take time here while Larry reprograms, and I had to keep going. So, like I said, I had two ready to go. I had two Moog sources. One I used for the bass line on stuff, and the other one I used for the vocoder on Let's Groove. And yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. That's before there was Autotune trying to emulate vocoders. You actually played the vocal part through a keyboard, and you and Roger Troutman, God rest his soul, and and a lot of the icons that really kind of started that sound, and even little Peter Frampton doing it with a voice box in his guitar. So
right, well, so the vocoder is different than the voice box. The voice box is the thing where you put the little clear tube in your mouth, and then you play the note on the keyboard. Whereas the vocoder, you use an actual microphone.
That's true. Yeah,
but either way it goes, the note that comes out is dictated by the instrument.
Yeah.
So that's why people who cannot sing at all, doesn't matter, and that's the same thing with Autotune.
Yeah, but not quite. There's just it's a whole different art form to learning how to sing like that. When Stevie would do it, or like you said yourself, or Roger, that was amazing. And it just brings me back, brother. Like I said, I remember dancing to Reasons and all the tracks back in my school days, and growing up with the Cats there in Northern California. In fact, we've got some mutual friends in common. John Paris actually will be coming out with a video with John here in the next few days.
Get out, yeah, that's our boy. He actually played on a couple of tracks for Louisa's solo project we're working on.
Yeah.
And he's a sweetie pie. Him and his wife are very talented and just good-hearted people. Always
the salt of the earth. I've known John since I was a teenager, back in his days when running around making music in Northern California with some friends over there at EM and Bobby Gonzalez, and all those cats. So it's kind of a fun family thing when you think about this music industry. It touches so many lives, but it really is kind of it's a small family in many ways, and with that said, you've got some really cool folks that you're going to be playing with. We're going to jump right into your concert that's coming up on the 21st. Yes, the 21st. I was getting my dates wrong. I was going through the Sundays in my mind. 21st here in San Diego. For those folks listening and tuning in right now, we are in San Diego, and Larry's going to be here with us, and I'm going to scramble to this show right after I get off a plane. I'm flying in from Nashville for NAMM. Wow,
God bless you.
Yeah, I can't miss it though, bro. I seen you over there in Pasadena, and that show was just amazing. It was very surreal. We're sitting there dancing with John and Verdine in the audience while we're listening to you play Earth, Wind, and Fire music, and your tribute anthology to your time with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you had Howard Johnson up there singing his ass off. I can't say ass because it's the internet. So tell us about what people can expect. That was my experience. I'm sitting there just dancing, and just like I said, dancing with Verdine to the music that he, and you made was just kind of surreal.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. And then when it was over, Hubert Laws was in there. I brought Paulinho da Costa, the most recorded musician in recent years.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
And there was a lot of great people up there. But so when it was over, everybody came and kind of rushed the stage, and we took photos. And Maurice's widow, the Marilyn, that had his firstborn, Cabran, she was like, Larry, I was in tears. I'm like, wow. But, yeah, man, it's awesome. We're doing Larry Dunn's Anthology of Earth, Wind, and Fire. So we're doing all Earth, Wind, and Fire music. Got a 13-piece band, orchestra, whatever you want to call it. So we started this, which is LDO, the Larry Dunn Orchestra. We actually started that back in '92 with just me and Louisa when I did my first solo album for Japan. And so then as time went on, we started doing just a couple, like we still do. We actually, come on out, people, because we only do this about 2 times a year.
Yeah, it's a very special occasion.
The good news is that we do it 2 times a year. The bad news is that you got that many people. Thank God we got top-notch people, because we get back together and everybody remembers their stuff, and it's awesome. So, yeah, we got me and Louisa, and then I got 4 male vocalists. I got Procton Bonell. Of course, we got Howard Johnson, Master Edwards, and Leslie Smith. Some singing mother figures. And,
yeah, right.
And then we've got Ty Fleming, young man. Actually, his birthday is that Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And our trumpet player, Michael Hunter, his birthday is Saturday. So we'll give them a good shout out that night. All right, so anyway, Ty Fleming, the drummer extraordinaire, and then my bass player, Hilliard Wilson. We grew up together in Denver, and when I was 11 years old and he was 13, we had a band, instrumental. I was playing organ, a little Kimball organ my parents bought me for Christmas one year, and I would turn the turntable down and learn Jimmy Smith and Kenny Burrell, and so we had a band. I was 11 years old. We were doing all instrumental stuff. About a couple of years later, we saw this band out at this warehouse where they used to let us young kids come and perform on the weekend. And we saw this band. They had three cats sitting on stools doing a Curtis Mayfield song. And it was Philip Bailey, Carl Caldwell, and I can't remember the last guy's name. But anyway, so us being instrumental, we pulled them with us. And we went through different names and whatever, the Mystic Moods, the Mellow Moods, ooh. But hey, man, we were just little kids, but we were playing like grown men.
Yeah.
And like I said, back in the day, and I know you know, to be a member of a band, there was one prereq. You had to play your booty off. They didn't care if you were tall or short, fat or skinny, black or white, Asian, Hispanic. You had to play.
Or young or old, because, like Nathan.
Young or old, but it just so happened. Like I said, by the time I was 15 years old. We had won talent shows, and I had a group called the Big D3, which was me, my older brother, my younger brother, when I was 11, and we won a talent show. And wow, you get your picture in the paper, and you get some money. Ooh, this is cool.
Yeah, and you guys, would groom people too young.
We were playing 7 nights a week in a 21 and over nightclub with Hilliard Wilson, Philip Bailey, Carl Caldwell, all the cats. And nobody on stage was old enough to even be in the club. but that's what I tell people, that's where you really hone your craft. That's where we honed our craft.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, Hilliard Wilson, we go all the way back when I was 11 and he was 13.
Wow.
On bass. Just an extraordinary musician. He's played with LL Cool J. He's written for Prince. I mean, just played with tons of people. Just extraordinary. And his sound and playing is impeccable.
Yeah.
We got 4-piece horn section. I think we're doing 3. We got Keith McKelly on sax. We got Michael Hunter on trumpet and Dwayne Benjamin on trombone. And what else we got here? I think, yeah. Oh, and we got Romy Guerrero on like they say down south, guitar. On guitar.
Guitar.
And actually, that's John Paris's brother, actually, per se,
Oh, wow.
They grew up together, and they're like best friends, and they used to play Sheila E., and again, he's a playing guy. But everybody's just like really good people. They know that they're extraordinary, and there's no big heads and egos. And I say that to young and old alike. I say, hey, man, if you're really good at what you do, and you took the gift that God gave you, and you developed it, you took the time to develop it, because people that are really good like that, usually they're just cool and down to earth.
Yeah.
It's usually the wannabes that got something that you'll never have, an ego bigger than all outdoors.
Exactly.
And I'm
exactly.
like, I don't even know why you go through that. Well, actually, I do know why you go with that, because to mask what you're missing, and that's why when Louisa and I do some seminars with Jay King, young and old alike, about the music business. And,
yeah. Jay's a longtime friend from Sacramento.
Learn your craft. And understand that we're all here for a distinct purpose. There may be many reasons. And I don't care if you're the superstar of all time. You're not any more important than the people that collect your garbage. We're all needed on this planet. And so people need to just cool out and learn to respect and love each other and understand we need each other. Yeah,
the cats that have a life in this business have personalities that you just love. Michael McDonald, just a beautiful character. The cats in Earth, Wind & Fire that I've met, Ralph, Verdine, all those guys, all of your band they're just amazing, sweetheart people. And of course, your beautiful, amazing wife is always so warm and just supportive and everything. So it just, like I said, it's like a family. Everyone, and if there's anything that we want to express to the listening audience is that, become part of that family. Come out to the show on the 21st and and experience this amazing event, because you were playing Earth, Wind and Fire music, and it's going to be rocking like Earth, Wind and Fire music. But you guys have your own chemistry. You are your own band. You are part of the crew that made that sound, and you've taken it now, and even with the adding of these different players, like Howard Johnson's version of Reasons just blows me away. And I just I can't express it more emphatically that people should. If it's not already sold out, get out there. Make sure you come out and see this show at the Music Box. It's not a big venue, so you guys, it's a really warm, intimate kind of venue. It's not small either, but we're not talking about the the football stadium. So come out and check this out for sure. Now, what time are you guys starting at the show?
If I tell you, I have to kill you. No,
No,
8
right?
o'clock. 8 p.m., so don't be late, because it's going to be great.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be great. Now, you've got the new album. We played one track on the new album. Tell us about the new album. You mentioned that John contributed on Louisa's album. But tell us about this new album.
But yeah, on this one, like I said, I always tell people, I said that every project we do, there's no hamburger helper. Every song on there's like people say, even with Earth, Wind & Fire, what's your favorite song? And it's like so hard to really say, because we put our heart and soul into each one. And I tell people, it's like something that me and you are brothers from the same mother.
Yeah.
And somebody asked our mother, so who's your favorite? Florentino. Well, I'm going to feel pretty damn bad. I'm going to feel pretty darn bad, So, every song, man, we give it all. And like I said, Louisa's featured on three, but two of them that she composed, one Brazilian Dream, and then a remake of, what's the name of it? Swing Out Sister, Twilight World, where she just got awarded earlier this year, Song of the Year, and she accepted the award at the Saban Theater up in Beverly Hills. There were like 52 dignitaries from around the world that was there, and all kinds of people, and it was awesome. So Twilight World, man, it's awesome. And then another one that she wrote called Madness, just kind of like a rock and rollish,
Oh, wow.
And the lyrics are just, unfortunately, seem like they're getting more relevant every day. Isn't it madness, the things that we see? We ask why. It's still a mystery. Can we be reunited as true human beings? Love and peace will make us whatever. The lyrics are actually on the CD, and everybody can pick up this CD if you go to iTunes, or you go to my website, LarryDunnMusic.com, and they can actually purchase it. And if they put a note in there, Louisa and I will even autograph it for them with her famous metallic pens, and it will be delivered right to their front door.
Well, hey, folks, you got to get this album. Like I said, it's filled with gems, and you're going to be able to experience it live, but you want to have it to where you can listen to it anytime, car, home, out in the park. It doesn't matter. You got to listen to it. So, with that said, you've had this amazing music career. You've done some producing as well. You've Hubert Laws, Level 42. You've had an amazing alternate career as a producer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I started writing a long time ago, and then when I got in the group, I think the first year we did Last Days and Times, because the older group had quit and whatever, you had to regroup. And so I started writing with Maurice, definitely by Head to the Sky, and then on. And I did so much writing, which was wonderful. Shining Star, Helped Him See the Light, Happy Feeling, Spirit, Faces, on and on and on. But when we would finish the album, or I would finish my part, I tell Reese, I say, hey, man, I got more ideas. He's like, no, you're golden. Thank you. You did so much. Okay, well, I'm not on the road. I want to keep doing music. So next week I'm in the studio with Lenny White.
Oh, yeah.
And all of the outrageous players he had with him from New York, the East Coast players. And then I was able to produce several times one of my mentors that I grew up listening to, Mr. Ramsey Lewis. And actually, and in 1987, Louisa and I played and performed on and produced 4 songs on his Keys to the City album. And so we did 4 songs, and Maurice and his people did the other 4 songs. So that was awesome. But I first produced him. I did Tequila Mockingbird. And that was so awesome, man. I had actually Al McKay on guitar. The late, great Ndugu Chancellor on drums. Yeah. Ronnie Laws on sax. Ramsey on grand piano. Me on Rhodes. Eddie Del Barrio and I did the horn arrangement, and George Del Barrio did the string arrangement. And they used to play that on all of the sports games, you know. And then 1142. That was awesome. And Ronnie Laws, Hubert Laws, even worked on Debbie Laws' album. Did some stuff with the Laws family. I don't even remember. I'm not in front of it now. But yeah, like I said, when I got done with Earth, Wind & Fire's project, I just make sure I'm back in the studio. Stanley Turntine. Yeah. So, I mean, what an honor to be able at that, you know, I'm like in my 21 years old and 22 and producing, you know, my heroes. Yeah. Was what an honor and what a blessing.
Well, you've blessed us with so much great music. Now I want to kind of dive into a little bit of a subject here, the music of today. You know, because you've been so instrumental about defining the sound, especially R&B, funk, soul music. What's your thoughts? Who are some of the artists that you like today that are still bringing it to the next generation?
Wow, you know, it's awesome. Louisa was just reminding me. I just played on Mary J. Blige's new project, which is coming out, and all I can tell you is look out. Wow,
I didn't know Mary was had a new project on the books, man. That's going to be great. When do you think it's going to release, or when is it going to release?
I'm not sure, but I know that the album is finished, so I guess now it's up to the record company, what have you. But all I'm going to tell you is that we did a remake of an amazing artist from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And I hate if you say we killed it. We brought it to life. And actually, I'll give a little hint. Hubert Laws actually played on the original.
Oh, man.
So go do your homework, people. But, yeah, man, so, yeah, like I say this. Because, like I said, we do the things with Jay King, and me and Louisa are on the panels. And we always say that every generation, of course, you got some young people that are just wonderful. But it seems like now they've got to look a little bit harder than we did, because when we were coming up, it was everywhere.
It was definitely, obviously, there's so many ways now you can get your music out, but it also, the blessing is also the curse. It's so many different people doing it, and it's hard to get your head above the above the water there. Like with you guys, when I was growing up and during that time when Jay came out with Club Nouveau, you guys actually brought out Robert and Michael Brookins under Afterbach, and we were all kids and kids with those guys and watching them like, wow, here is Earth, Wind & Fire, who is at the top, and they're taking time to get some local boys to get them out to market. So there really isn't that type of avenue anymore. Have you taken any? Have you seen any new artists that you think that are you would like to produce or you'd like to help mentor?
And we're actually, Louisa and I are working on that now. We got our own companies, and so we're looking at some younger artists and stuff. And I tell people too. I said, look, man, this is America, and no, I don't want to start no stupid movement because people lose their rights while we're sleeping and they're not even aware of it.
Yeah.
But if they'd have told me even in the 70s that there would be something called music that had a beat going and some whatever sounds and people were using the B word and the F word and all that, I said, am I on candid camera? Come on, man, you're kidding. Yeah. And but like I said, and I tell people too, and you heard me that night on the concert, I said, every male, not necessarily men, but every male that's walking this planet has walked and will walk, have one common denominator for sure: a mama, a mother. Yeah. When they became B's and H's, beyond me. But like I said, even the Bible says, as for me and my house, you know.
I
I
Lord.
tell people, hey,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for a womb, you wouldn't be in the room. You wouldn't be here, you know. Hey, that's pretty good. Write that down, Louisa. But yeah, man, I mean, it's like, you know, we were talking about this last night, because Louisa's also going to be honored July 28th by Miss Brandy Sanders, who has a wonderful show where she, it's called New School Sings Old School, and got these little kids, man, from like 5 years old and up to 21, whatever, that sing only old school music. And, man, they got some, I mean, she got some kids, man, that you haven't even seen that level on America's Got Talent and stuff. I mean, these little kids are amazing.
Oh yeah,
there's
some talented players and singers out. So people who
absolutely.
think
Little kids. So,
yeah.
so she's again honoring Louisa on July 28th also at the Saban. So, but yeah. So the thing is, like I said, we were talking about last night, how we still live in a world where women are treated like second-class citizens, and it sucks. You know, so, but the thing that I say for people, old and young, whatever, is that for me and us, from before Earth, Wind & Fire to Earth, Wind & Fire to after Earth, Wind & Fire, everything we do, we put the I word, integrity.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
with ethics and honor as part of that.
Do whatever it is you want to do. But as for us, and so in doing so, even as looking at younger artists, we've had some meetings with some of them. We're like, actually, we did a remake of Shining Star with this young Jewish kid who's a rapper. And when he first sent the rap, we're like, no, dude, because, you know, it was, you know, cursing and all that nonsense.
He was trying to appease a certain mentality and crowd, and he just needed to be himself.
Right. And so the first one he wrote, we're like, no, dude, that ain't going to fly. So he redid it, and it was almost like gospel. It was really beautiful, okay? It was really nice. And it came out, and it was just, I think it was on my website. It said, tribute to Maurice White.
Wow. Yeah. Well, hey, that's what we want to see. I think that this generation needs a bridge. It needs a bridge to the players that have established and pretty much cemented the foundations. We had that when we were growing up. Like I said, we were listening to these cats that, you know, the Temptations, or if you're into rock, Jimi Hendrix, or, you know, whatever it was. You know,
yeah, we had all, actually, you know, there was a little black nightclub in Colorado that, like I said, we were all playing 7 nights a week. I was 15, Philip and most of the other guys were 2 years older than me, and then a couple were a little bit older. And, man, we had groups like the Whispers come through there, and they were like, who are these little kids?
Yeah, yeah.
But like, and I tell people, you know, nowadays, you know, because this is a J. King special. You got a lot of old Julio Iglesias, Julio, right? That you know, say you want to get a job. So what do? They go to social network. They go online.
Yeah.
And what do? Let me find the job that pays the most.
Yeah.
Not taking into consideration, A, you may suck at it. B, you may hate it. So I say, whatever it is that you want to do, make it something that you enjoy doing, if you can. I mean, you know, I understand, you know, we got to pay bills and all that, but try to find something, you like I said, your craft. And I remember seeing an interview probably 25 years ago, with Jimmy and Terry Lewis, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis.
Yeah.
And they were telling people, young and old alike. He said, now, also remember this. There's 2 words in this equation, music, business. So, you know, you learn your craft, and, of course, then you need to learn the business. And I tell all artists, no matter what you do, try to learn how to write music. Write your own music, because, you know, Louisa we always tell the story how when, what was the name of the group? TLC.
Yeah.
That one year when they won like 5 Grammys or something.
And they were broke.
And they flew out here. They had to actually borrow money from Babyface or from somebody to get a place to stay to accept the Grammys, because that was at the point where they weren't really writing their own stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even if they were, they didn't know the business well, and they were getting ripped off. And we all go through that.
Yeah, yeah. They signed that 50-50 deal for, you know, the producers' deals that were pretty rampant back in those days, and their 50% had to go pay off the debts to the record label and the producers. And I won't mention any names. We know who it is, but
in the first few years with Earth, Wind & Fire, we were young, and then Maurice was older than us, but he still was, and if you don't know the business, you don't know the business, so you kind of learn along the way.
Yeah,
so, but now, see, you've got that information highway, so people can actually go on there and find contracts, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, we were dealing with another project, and one of our assistants that is so cool, works with us all the time, wrote the thing that, Mr. Dunn has been in this business for a long time, and he said he's found out in his walk that to keep friends, and even if you work with family, whatever, get the business up front and out the way. Then you can be creative. Then you don't have to worry about it. Because then I said you always got that thing where people do that willy-nilly monkey business and they don't take care of business. And then at the end, you always hear that 3-part conversation. Oh, no, but I thought, wait, no, but you said, okay, so what if we? It's like 3 strikes.
Yeah.
So, there's so many factors that are not just true in music, but carry through just in life in general.
Yeah, there's some foundational character elements that you have to always have, no matter what you do, whether you're doing music, whether you're, a plumber, whether you are, any kind of artist, it doesn't matter. There's certain characteristics that you have to
Character
have.
traits, exactly. And that's one thing, because we do a lot of different studies, biblical studies and stuff, and you find out everybody needs character correction. But the problem, I think, with the world is today, everybody thinks they're right.
Yeah, and nobody wants to be open to to other people listening. They want to do more of the talking. Larry, man, we've got 1 minute left, brother. What is the final thought you'd like to share?
Where did the time go?
I know, right? We're going to bring you back for a longer segment. I really want to get more insights on this. This was mainly to get people aware of your show that's coming up here. But you got 45 seconds. Tell us your last thought.
Actually, I'm going to let Louisa do that. Give a last thought. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Oh, well, my last thought is to all the people is to continue to do your due diligence and having faith in what you do, and never spread some love. Just give love to your neighbors, and come down to our gig.
The Music Box. July 21st.
San Diego.
And that's right. Larry Dunn's Anthology of Earth, Wind and Fire.
All
Come
right.
play with us. Come have fun.
Yeah, come play with us. I like that. That's the thought. Y'all come play with us.
I love you guys, man. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Changing Stage Radio Show, powered by the mighty Intertalk Media. We will be back with the next show soon. Stay tuned.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?